What was supposed to be a lighthearted, Tonight Show chat quickly spiraled into one of the most unexpectedly intense and chaotic interviews in late-night history. Jimmy Fallon started with his signature charm, introducing his guest-renowned entrepreneur and podcast host, Stephen Bartlett. Jimmy beamed as he recalled being on Stephen's hit show The Diary of a CEO, confessing that he was blown away by the meticulous preparation, even receiving a custom-made book of their interview filled with real-time quotes, photos, and timestamps. Fallon admitted that when he left Stephen's studio that day, sat in his car and cried, overwhelmed by how deeply touched he felt. The audience laughed warmly. Stephen smiled humbly, but behind that calm grin was someone who had built an empire on obsessive attention to detail. Jimmy dove deeper, curious about Stephen's intense approach. Stephen revealed how his team considers everything. The music guests hear when they walk in, the exact scent of the room, even the CO levels, to prevent mental fatigue. He explained how low oxygen can cloud thinking like alcohol. How in his early days, he unknowingly hosted interviews while practically lightheaded. The crowd chuckled, but Jimmy, ever the provocateur, smirked and said, "So you were basically drunk for 200 episodes?" Stephen laughed politely, though the joke didn't quite land. Then Jimmy pushed harder, but all that perfection. "Isn't it exhausting? Don't you think maybe you care too much about small things that don't even matter?" The crowd went silent. Stephen's smile faltered for the first time. Calmly, he explained how sweating the small stuff had been his secret weapon. He spoke about starting in 2017, recording under the stairs in his kitchen with a sock on a microphone, how only 26 people listened at first, and how he nearly quit until a friend begged him to keep going. Jimmy nodded, pretending interest, then scoffed. "And now you've gone from 26 listeners to 1 billion streams. All because of candles and air vents?" The room shifted. Stephen's tone sharpened. "No, Jimmy, because of care. People remember how you make them feel. That's what builds empires." The audience erupted in applause, sensing the tension rising. Trying to lighten things, Jimmy asked about Stephen's worst interview moment. Stephen shared how once he studied the wrong guest for 5 hours and didn't even know who was sitting in front of him. The crowd laughed as he described asking the guest to spell their name, only to hear K. Just K against all odds. It became one of his most downloaded episodes. Fallon tried to twist it into a punchline, saying, "So your best work happens when you're unprepared. And drunk on Sue?" The audience gasped. Stephen's eyes hardened. "No," he said. "My best work happens when I listen. Something too many hosts forget to do." The audience roared. Fallon forced a laugh, but it came out nervous. Stephen leaned forward and said quietly, "You asked if I care too much. The truth is, caring is what made me, and not caring is what ruins shows." The silence was deafening. Fallon muttered something about being a fan and tried to wrap it up. But Stephen wasn't done. He removed his microphone, placed it gently on the desk, and stood. "I came here for a conversation, not a performance," he said. Fallon blinked in shock. The audience froze. Stephen continued, "This circus is exactly why so many real conversations never happen on TV." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Fallon stammered, "Hey, come on, we're just having fun here." But Stephen simply shook his head. "Fun is fine, Jimmy, but respect matters more." With that, he turned, walked off the stage, and vanished behind the curtain, leaving Fallon and millions of viewers stunned. For several long seconds, no one spoke. Fallon sat frozen, clutching his cue cards, eyes darting toward the producers off camera. The band stopped mid-note. Finally, Fallon forced a nervous laugh and mumbled, "Well, we'll be right back," as the show abruptly cut to commercial. Within minutes, social media erupted. Clips of the walkout flooded TikTok, Instagram, and X. Fans were divided. Some praised Stephen's courage, saying he exposed the fake veneer of late-night TV. Others slammed him as arrogant, claiming he overreacted to harmless jokes. Entertainment sites churned out think pieces by the hour, while podcasts dissected every glare, every word, every second of the meltdown. Backstage insiders later revealed that Stephen had been warned Jimmy might tease him, but no one expected things to boil over. Some claimed Fallon had pushed too far, turning an honest conversation into a mockery. Others said Bartlett came in ready to make a statement. He did. The next day, Fallon opened his show with a strained smile, saying, "Sometimes guests leave early. It happens," before quickly changing the subject. Stephen, however, posted a short video on his social media. "I believe in meaningful conversations. I don't believe in playing games with him. I left because it stopped being real. The clip racked up millions of views within hours. What was meant to be a playful reunion had become one of the most shocking moments in Tonight Show history. Viewers were left stunned. Critics were polarized. And one thing became undeniable. Stephen Bartlett didn't just walk off a set, he walked into late-night legend. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more unbelievable moments caught live on TV.